Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today, I'm going to explain episode 7 of the drama and the survival Korean TV show named Squid Game. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. The episode starts with the blood-spattered face of Ali, who was already placed inside the all-too-familiar black and pink coffins as an indication that even our most beloved characters with the kindest hearts are never safe from the brutality of the games. The scene shifts to that of the front man getting more annoyed about the intruder. He is feeling more impatient and distrusting with the guards for not being able to catch the intruder yet, especially since the VIPs will be arriving soon. The scene shifts again, the surviving players, fresh from their marble game victory, enter the main hall and see, to their surprise, Nio is in bed very much alive and unharmed. The sight of her shocks Deok-soo, who was very much certain that she would have been killed after not securing a pair for their last game. She explains that she was spared because she was the weakest link, and the game observes the rule of not abandoning the weakest kid. We are taken back to the front man's den. He is on the phone and tells the other person on the line that the host is waiting for the arrival of the VIPs. As soon as he sets down the phone, he feels something is off, and it turns out he is feeling the presence of Young-ho. The bullet that was used to kill one of the guards in episode 5, and it was exclusively issued for the police, so this gives the front man an idea that he was dealing with law enforcement and tries to sniff him out. The front man makes his way towards the file room, where, in the previous episode, Young-ho was hiding. Before he could further inspect, he receives a call that a body had been found on the island. Back in the players' hall, the players are eating while they process what just happened during the previous game. Although sad, Sae-Bi-ok seems to have looked so thoughtful. The most emotion she has shown throughout the game. Sang-woo, who seems to be not a tad bit guilty at what he has done, tells Gi-hun to not worry about killing the old man, Il-nam pointing out that even the husband had to kill his wife, choosing himself over her. The bereaved husband later on pleads to everyone to stop the game, but nobody responds. He reminds everyone that they just killed the person they are closest to, in which Sang-woo slaps him with the truth about him choosing himself over his wife. The husband, who obviously could live with the grief, tells him that he should have died instead. On the other hand, the front man arrives to see the dead guard's body, already covered in crabs. It turns out to be the guard that Young-ho had previously killed in the ferry when they were on the way to the island. They find Young-ho's police ID in the pocket of the dead body. The front man gets a message that the VIPs have arrived and orders the guards to incinerate the body. The front man lets the host know about the arrival of the VIPs. It is then revealed that the painting at the front man's place is the host. Just like the front man and the guards, the VIPs also don masks, only that theirs are bedazzled and in the shape of animal heads. The front man introduces himself as the one that operates and oversees all the matters concerning the games. The VIPs speak in English, and from their accents, it is obvious that they are from different parts of the world. It becomes clear that these foreigners are the ones backing this game. The VIPs express their desire to see the host, but the front man tells them that there are personal issues keeping him from attending their viewing party, but assures them that the game will go on as scheduled. From here, the rest of the episode continues to shift between the players and the VIPs and the huge contrast in their situations. In the player hall, the lights are out, but the religious guy continues to pray, keeping everyone up. His prayer seems to provoke the thoughts of most of the players, rather than annoy them, except for Deok-soo, who looks like he was about to strangle the man to death. We are taken back to the VIP's lounge that looks hauntingly similar to Cirque du Soleil, only with a twist. There was a consistent flow of liquor and models were positioned as tables in sexual poses. At the front, there was a large screen showing the main hall. They were all casually joking about the deaths of the players when they saw player 69 about to hang himself. One of them even curses at him for making him lose $1 million for betting on him. This is also the part where we see Young-ho again, this time dressed as a waiter and heading to the VIP lounge. In the main hall, the daily classical wakes the players up. At the same time, the guards come in and brings a casket for 69, the first suicide of the series. The death of player adds a few more to the piggy bank despite it not happening during the games. After the remains of player 69 were collected, they knew that the next game was bound to begin shortly. Back at the VIP lounge, the front man introduces the next game using a small-scale model that looks like a tightrope on ecstasy. The scene shifts to the players walking into a room with mannequins wearing numbered vests. They were asked to pick a number and wear the vest with the corresponding number. With no idea what the next game was, the players were frantically trying to figure which number they should choose and how that would affect them in the game. The religious guy takes 6 because God created man on the 6th day, and another player takes 7 because it is a lucky number. The rest of the players hurry to grab a vest, but Guy Hun remains to weigh everything out. He believes that the strongest go first, so he should get a number in the front, while debating that taking a step back and being one of the last will allow him to observe and study the game first. By the time he had made a decision, the only numbers that were left were first and last numbers. He was about to grab the 01 vest, but another player tells him that he, for the first time in his life, wants to be the owner of his own life for once. Guy Hun lets him have it and proceeds to pick the last number. The game was revealed to be glass stepping stones. The players are given a 15-minute time limit to make their way across a sky-high bridge, but they must do it in order of the numbers they chose, starting with 01. The twist is that there are 2 bridges, and the tiles that make up the bridge are either made out of glass and the other is made from tempered glass that can't even hold a single person. One wrong choice and you will fall to your death. 01 was frozen to his spot and was wasting time until Deok-su comes at him and threatens to push him if he doesn't move. 001 chooses the correct tile, but eventually fails and falls to his death. The next 2 players also die, but not without helping the others every time they make a wrong step. 04 can't remember which way to go, so 05 tells him, but he chose not to believe her, so he leaps to his death. The game continues to challenge the barely existing trust among the players and even stirs up even more violence amongst themselves. The religious man, who was just praying the night before, even pushes a player who antagonized him to his death. Karma could not have come fast enough when someone pushes him as well. This cycle continues. Sangwoo with number 14 vest and Se-byok with number 15 vest enter the board. Guy Hun was about to follow when it seemed like he had forgotten which board to step on. Se-byok tells him where to jump and to get his shit together. The one who was leading them, 08, refused to take a step further, wasting even more time for the rest. After being pressured by Deok-su to jump, he eventually falls to his death, which leaves the bully to lead the rest of the way. Back in the VIP lounge, a flirtatious bearded VIP demands Young-ho to sit with him and serve him only. The VIP then demands to see Young-ho's face, which he declines. This angers the VIP and threatens to have him killed if he does not obey, so he agrees only if they do it somewhere private. VIP announces to the rest of the room that he wishes to go somewhere, earning whistles from the others. When they get to the room, Young-ho's mask is taken off and the VIP promises to change his life if he can satisfy him in 5 minutes. As he pushes Young-ho's head to receive a fellatio, Young-ho grabs his genitals and pulls a gun on him. He tells him that in exchange for his life, he must give him the information he needs. The game continues in the arena with Deok-su, desperate not to fall to his death, tells everyone behind him that he has no intention to move, and if they want to move forward they have to pass through him. Time was already running out, so the person behind Deok-su attempts to push him and terribly fails, so Deok-su shoves him to his death. The person behind the fallen was Mi-nyo. With no more ambitions of winning the game, Mi-nyo reminds Deok-su that they would always be together and she would kill him if he betrayed her, which he did. So as an act of revenge, she gets on his tile, wraps her arms around him, and hurls them both to a glass tile, plummeting to their deaths. There are only 4 players left, 13, Sangwoo, Se-byok, and Guy Hun. Luckily for them, 13 used to work at a glass factory, so he knew how to tell the difference based on the light and sound of the glass. He gets the next one right, and so they all move on. Guy Hun points out why he did not help the others before, but he argues that, why should he help people that have tried to kill him? The VIPs demanded that they make it more challenging for the remaining players, so the front man adjusted the light setting, making it more difficult for 13 to distinguish the difference, but time was almost running out. As the game nears its end, the front man orders one of the guards to check the VIP that took Young-ho to a private room. The guard finds the VIP passed out on the floor and immediately alerts the front man. The front man realizes that it was the intruder and they begin their search once more. Back in the arena, with the clock ticking and only one tile left, 13 asks for anything they can throw to the tiles to test it. Gai-hun immediately remembers the marble in his pocket that Il-nam gave and immediately passes it on to 13. After testing it, 13 still isn't sure which glass is the right one, so he asks them if there are any more objects he can throw just to be sure. Unfortunately, no one has anything. With time running out, Sang-woo grows desperate and pushes 13 to one of the tiles, and he crashes through the tempered glass. Without wasting any more time left, Sang-woo leaps to the right tile, and with 8 seconds left, Se-Bai-ok and Gai-hun hurriedly follow, finishing just before the buzzer goes off, and the rest of the tiles explode sending shards everywhere. Back to the front man, their search takes them to the conclusion that Young-ho took to sea and they swiftly follow after him on a boat. The episode ends with Young-ho, his head bobbing above the water in scuba gear.